Well, this is Over the Shoulder. I'm Superintendent Don Killingbeck, and today I'm talking to Denise Dowdell, our Director of Business Operations and HR. Denise, tell us a little bit. I mean, I know what you do, but tell the listening audience, what exactly does a Director of Business Operations and HR do?
So for the most part, I am monitoring what's going on with the state of Michigan, looking at what grant opportunities are out there, reporting all of our revenues and monitoring our expenses to make sure we're getting the best utilization of every dollar that we bring in. And then on the human resources side, making sure we're posting positions, keeping our staff positions filled, and making sure we're having the best utilization of our dollars for those staff members.
It sounds like a lot of work. It's kind of a challenging role, especially in 2025. And you think about the school district and the growth we've seen, the construction we've managed. And then, one of the interesting things for us is we do, our staff is a very well spread out group, but we are on the verge of having a number of people ready and able to retire in the district. And so that's going to pick up on the HR side. I feel like we've navigated it well so far. What do you think? What do you love the most about your job?
I'm a numbers person, so I love the finance side of it, and I love finding out that we've been awarded a grant and really looking into how do we best use these dollars to make the most impact on our students and our staff.
I would definitely say one of the things I really appreciate about you is your willingness to dig in and really go after additional funding through the state with grants and stuff. I've watched you do that a number of times, and it's very beneficial to our kids and our staff and our whole community.
Yeah, so anytime we can get money over that foundation allowance, that just is things we can do above and beyond for our kids and our staff.
So one of the things, it's interesting, I often say we're one of those rich, poor schools, is that, and what I mean by that is because our socioeconomics, our community tends to qualify less for free and reduced lunch.
Right.
And so we do get less of those grants. We're awarded less dollars than a lot of our county peers. Mm-hmm. And so we have less money to navigate the same issues and problems. One of the things I wanted to kind of talk to you about is taxes. And so, do you like taxes?
They're not on my top list of things I enjoy.
Yeah, so you don't like taxes. I know I don't like taxes. We recently, at our board meeting, had conversation about taxes because I know for us, we're in a situation where there was two decisions over the course of the last 20 years, 20 plus years, that have kind of created a unique situation in terms of space. And so in '02, Casey Ling, we built walls. It was originally an open classroom concept building. You would walk in the door, and if you went left, when you got to past the double door, it came wide open. And then if you went to the right, it was the library back then, was right there. And so in 2002, they built walls, and I think that was the right decision from an educational standpoint, from a safety standpoint. Lots of good things happened because they did that. And then in 2013, we launched our early childhood center. And so we had maybe one preschool room, maybe two, and we just had launched previously an after-school program, and we started in this track of providing high-quality childcare and early childhood programming to our families in 2013 at a larger scale. Right now, it's about a third to half of our Hemlock Elementary building.
Yeah.
And so, and then for the first time in probably since 1980s, we've been on a declining enrollment. In 2013, we've kind of been level. And then for the last 3 years, we're actually increasing student enrollment.
Yeah.
And so we're larger today than we were in 2013. And so kind of exciting. So we have those three things where we've launched additional programming that includes, it's probably a couple hundred kids at our child care center.
Yeah.
200 kids. And then we've built walls in O2. And then today we have increased enrollment, which leads us to need what? We end up needing.
Well, we need space. I mean, when I went to Ling way back when, it was an open building, and so if we needed more space, you could easily move bookshelves and partitions around to make more classrooms, but that's not an option anymore. However, the safety of students says that we really need classroom walls and doors. So we did what was right for the safety of our buildings, but it does come with limited spaces for teaching kids, so.
Yeah, so it's kind of a balancing act, right? You know, you go, we want the best learning environment, and then it creates a situation where nearly 20 plus years later, we need more classrooms.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we've been talking, and one of the things I think that you and I believe the Board of Education as well is on the same page is no new taxes.
Right.
You know, we can't increase taxes, so we're looking at what can we do long-term to be able to add classrooms with keeping taxes level, not increasing them from our current mill rate. We have a 3.9 mill rate from our 2022 tax neutral initiative, and then we have a 1 mill sinking fund, which from, you know, when we look around the county, those two things combined, that puts us not at the highest taxes in the area and not at the lowest. It kind of puts us in the upper, like the you go to the bottom third, and then we're in that next third, and we're right in kind of the middle of that next third, I think, overall, the last time I checked.
Yeah.
So our taxes for school aren't necessarily high for our area. They're kind of on the mid to lower side. Would you say that's a fair?
That's correct, yeah.
You know, and I think that we're committed to keeping taxes there. So the other thing, that's for construction. So school budgets are kind of interesting is you have the bond world and the construction world where we're committed and we've said, hey, we're level taxes. We're not going to try to increase taxes. We understand, I know I have my in-laws that are senior citizens that live here. Your parents in the past have lived here. They're on fixed incomes. And so it's so important that we are sensitive to that. But then on the other side, there's our operation, which is how we pay for staff, our teachers. It's how we educate kids. It's how we keep the lights on. And so we also with that have what's called a non-homestead operational millage. I know that's ours is coming up in fall of 2026.
Correct.
So how, or it could be sooner too. I mean, we could opt to vote sooner, but so what are those dollars from, and where do they go to?
So the non-homestead millage is a tax collection on industrial and commercial properties in the area, and that is what makes up a portion of our per pupil foundation allowance.
Okay.
So that is collected on those commercial industrial properties, and that is calculated and comes to the school district, and then the state makes up the difference with tax collection to make that difference of the full foundation allowance per pupil.
So you're saying basically those non-homestead, so commercial, what do you call it,
Commercial, industrial, and second homes.
In second homes. So that's the first dollar we get. So if, for example, if the per pupil foundation allowance was $10, the first dollars that come into the district are gonna come in from this non-homestead operational millage.
Correct.
And let's say ours is like $3, then the state would send us the remaining $7.
Correct.
So it varies. So when something like HSC and Corteva and all those additional huge builds to our east from the district office and the school buildings. When they happen, what happens to our non-homestead operational millage? Does that go up or down?
It goes up.
So it goes up. So when businesses do well, our liability at a voting booth increases as well. And so, but we have always supported business and always have supported the idea that business is good for our families and stuff. So that's going to be an important issue. Will that be a tax increase or a tax decrease or tax neutral?
That would be tax neutral. Most people won't see the impact of that because again, that is on second homes and industrial and commercial properties. So that's not on a first home.
Now, is that unique to Hemlock?
No, that is the state.
So that's across the state, every school district goes to vote on these 18 mills?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's pretty big things in our near future as we look ahead, making sure that we don't increase taxes, that we keep things level, that we're sensitive, but we also keep the good work and the progress moving forward. I feel like we should do Denise and Don, Donuts with Denise and Don, We Hate Taxes Too, and kind of sit down with people and go over where they could come in and we could look up at their taxes. I know we've had people say things online about huge tax increases, and then we look at because we can go to GIS, right?
Correct.
And look at people's taxes and be able to kind of figure out things. And the school isn't increasing taxes, but it's one of the few things that you can vote on.
Correct.
You know, isn't that the kind of the backwards thing is we're not increasing taxes yet you get to vote on it, and then other places are increasing taxes and you may or may not be able to vote on those things.
Right.
I know I have a question for you.
Okay.
Like, how much money do we get from the lottery? The lotto is supposed to generate all this money. How much do we get?
Well, I think the confusing thing is the way it's advertised is that this is extra money, but the lottery revenues are just a portion of our per pupil foundation allowance. So how well or the lottery doesn't really impact our foundation allowance. It's just a portion of that.
So that just goes into the school aid fund?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, it's not above and beyond funding.
Parents that are listening, you're a parent yourself. How many kids do you have?
I have 5.
5 kids, 4 girls.
4 girls.
1 boy.
1 boy.
And 2 golden retrievers.
Golden retrievers.
And a husband. And so you have a full house.
We do.
So what's one piece of advice you'd give young parents that might be listening, or old parents for that matter?
For me, schools are huge for anybody. I mean, these are where you're going to spend 12 plus years of your life. Your kids are going to go to school somewhere likely for 12 years. So it's a good investment for parents. It's a good investment for the community. And finding a district that you're happy with is really crucial. It's going to be a partnership you're going to have for years to come.
Yeah, that is so important. And sometimes the district you move into isn't the same district in 12 years. I mean, you think about what's happened in our district, and I know my family, my wife and I have 4 kids, and we were like, hey, where do we want to have our kids go to school, and what do we, what kind of community we want to be part of? And Hemlock was at the top of the list. And then when we look at what the district looks like today, it's just continually gotten better and better for our kids, for our staff, for our community, and for our families that we serve.
I'm Denise Dowdell, and I'm a Hemlock Husky.